Hi guys, welcome back. It is episode 5 of the Tez Talks Q&A series 2, I guess we should call it. Again, loving your very thought-provoking questions. They've been so great. So let's jump in. Yeah, I think sometimes it's really challenging to be able to completely put our trust in another individual. Um, it's scary. It's like jumping in the deep end of a pool and just having to learn how to swim. I think when you're falling in love or you see the potential of a life partner, it can be really daunting because you also want to protect your heart. I think the only thing I could say to that is just usually when we are running away from something, it's the very thing that we need to delve into to have some more self growth in that particular area. I completely understand. I remember I had my heart broken, and then I met my husband, and I truly had to give over to this idea of this individual coming in and just wanting to love me. Even if it meant I was going to have my heart broken again, I would much prefer to feel all the feelings that I was feeling, falling in love, and doing it without restriction and without being so wound up that I couldn't authentically be myself. It really affects our experience when we're not cultivating self-love, and truly those sorts of feelings come up when you're not in full acceptance of yourself, in full love and celebration of who you are. So I think it always boils down to asking yourself, why would I allow myself this experience, this feeling, even if this isn't supposed to be my life partner? What a beautiful life experience this partnership is going to bring me. And the only thing you can do is jump in and say yes. Say yes to that person. Open yourself up. Be a bloomed flower to them. And it's through those experiences where you learn even more about yourself, even if it doesn't end up the way that you envisioned the relationship to end up. But it's so important to be vulnerable. It's so incredibly important because you won't have those authentic relationships that we are desiring in our lives without that vulnerability and that depth and that openness. So I would continue to just keep leaning into that feeling, blanket yourself in self-love, and and just move through it. Really, I think the first step is you've acknowledged it. You've acknowledged that this is an issue. And now every time you feel yourself being resistant or trying to sabotage, take a look at why. Like why you're afraid in here. Why the little you inside of you is crying out. And if you can deal with that yourself outside of that person, then you'll be able to be a fully realized, healthy individual that can come and enjoy this experience for whatever experience it's supposed to be. Yeah, I think we all have these lives, right, that are full of stuff that we bring, schedules, and I mean, for me, it's like play dates and school and body centered activities. And so sometimes I don't have those moments just to sit in bed and read a book. In fact, I don't really. Unless I truly tried to carve out the time. But even yesterday, I tried to have a bath and I was watching some water birth videos because of my impending, the birth of my next child. Um, and then I was interrupted and I was like, oh yeah, that's right. Like I don't really have that time to fully commit. But even if you have 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, it is about finding for me, a podcast that you can listen to that brings you inspiration. So there are a couple of podcasts I have on my phone. Okay, there's this app called Blinkist, Blinkist, and essentially it takes books, and they have, I mean, every spiritual, quote unquote spiritual book out there, and it takes those books and it condenses them down into these, what they call blinks, which is basically the 9 main points of the book, the gems of the book. And you can listen to the audio. It usually goes about for 15 minutes, and it breaks down the main points of the entire book. So you don't have to read the whole book, but you're getting hit with all this wisdom and knowledge. So right now, this is what it looks like. Can you see that there? So right now, this is Deepak Chopra, the 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. And it kind of breaks down, like, what are these blinks about? Who should read them? Who wrote the book? You can go and buy the book fully after you listen to the blinks, and whether or not it's something that you that resonates with you. And then key insights, it has all the numbers down the side. And so, for instance, the first 3 are blink number 1, what's in it for me? Find success wherever you seek it. Blink number 2, discover your true self and dissolve the ego. Blink number 3, embrace your current situation and practice defenselessness. So, and then it goes on. So I love this app because literally you're just getting pounded quickly with really inspiring information. And it is a wonderful way to just have a pick-me-up. And it's quick. You listen to it. When I am breastfeeding Bodhi down to sleep at night, I'll have my headphones in and I'll just listen to the blinks. I know that I have that period of time, and I listen to the audio, and I think it's wonderful. And I've bought quite a number of books from there. So I love that. I think it's so great. Right now, the ones on my list are Broadcasting Happiness, The Science of Igniting and Sustaining Positive Change by Michelle Gielan. So I still have that to read. Conscious Business, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, which, oh my God, I love. I completely changed my house in the last month because of it. I have a book called Flow, The Psychology of Optimal Experience. I also have The Miracle Morning, the not-so-obvious secret guarantee to transform your life before 8 a.m. So they're ones I have waiting. So I would really recommend that. And then just find podcasts that resonate with you. Right now I'm into a lot of parenting podcasts, like the Janet Lansbury Unruffled podcast is amazing. But yeah, so I recommend you check that out. I think you'll find some inspiration there for sure. I've been having to navigate through this a lot recently. Even these Tez Talks and some of my pregnancy video logs have been getting picked up by the media and made into articles. And so the article's always out of context because the people reading the articles don't have the whole video, and they don't know anything about me. They don't know who this person is who's doing Tez Talks and why I'm talking like this. And so sometimes the articles come off negatively. And I was having a sensitive moment probably about a month ago when my husband was like, don't read them, just don't read them. And it's hard because when you're on Twitter, people say, oh, did you read this? Or, oh, check out this link. And it's so hard to avoid the noise. And there are moments that I want to feel that feeling. I want to feel that conflict. I want to feel that challenge. And my ego takes a hit. And I started to realize that whenever I'm in that low vibrational space, it's because I am putting stock in the idea of what other people think of me and how other people judge me. I think it's a very normal thing to do, and it's very common that we care so deeply about what other people think of us. But truly, we can't take any of this on as truths. And so for me, what that is about is when I was letting the noise in, it was impacting me in a way that I felt bad about myself. And so what I decided to do was stop letting it in. Don't read that stuff. As soon as I start feeling negative feelings, eradicate myself from that feeling by acknowledging where the feeling comes from. I was like, all right, where is this coming from? Am I believing what these people were saying, or what these, people on the internet are commenting about? Am I putting stock in that? Do I agree with what they're saying? And usually the answer was no, and I felt so wronged. I felt so wronged because I felt like people had such a different idea of who I am than who I really am. And it was definitely affecting me in a negative way. So I decided to throw a whole heap of love at it and understand that I only care about my tribe and how my tribe see me and what they think of me. The people who really know the depths of who I am, who can be a mirror to me and let me know, like, hey, I think maybe some of these patterns are coming up for you. Like, why don't you take a look at that? They're the people I listen to. You find your tribe and they're your sounding board. And everyone else outside of that, you don't have to take that in, because it can be really, really negative. And if you know that you are doing the best and you're being the best person and you're living as consciously as possible and you're giving love out there, then that's enough. Just be you, be your best, and not listen to anything else, any of that noise, because your ego, it's tricky. It wants to pick up on all that. It wants to take those little pieces and affect you in a negative way. It's just what we do as human beings. The suffering, we get drawn to the suffering sometimes, and it can be so hard to actually just sit in the light, because everything else is drawing us into the suffering, including the media and social media too. It can be really, really toxic. So take a break from it. If you're feeling those feelings, stop, breathe, check back in, realize that they're irrational feelings. They don't have any representation of who you are, and continue to cultivate that self-love. So that's it, guys. They were the questions for this one. Thank you so much. Definitely check out Blinkist, and yeah, that's it. All right, I'll see you next week. Bye.